Good morning, and the Lord be with you. My name is Dan Colgan. I'm the organist and music guy here at Gloria Day Lutheran Church in Olympia, Washington. These are the daily devotions for Saturday, March 21st, 2020. This is a strange world that we are currently living in. While many of us are stuck home, we find comfort in various tasks and various things. Oftentimes a source of comfort are our favorite Bible passages or reading our Bibles for some. For others, maybe it's watching or streaming, I should say, our favorite shows. However, a source of comfort for me is often reading through, singing through some of the texts of our great hymns. We have many of these wonderful hymn texts that have been passed to us throughout the generations. If you don't have a hymnal at home, I wanted to make you aware of a couple wonderful online sources of hymns. One of those is hymnary.org. That's hymnary.org. And if you enter a little more than that, it actually has our whole ELW, our Evangelical Lutheran Worship hymnal, is on that site. If you go to hymnary.org/hymnal/ELW 2006. And from there you can click on every hymn in the book. Some have text, some have tunes, some have an actual photograph of the whole hymn. But feel free to use that site and utilize that wonderful resource. Another resource that's similar is hymntime.com, which is hymntime.com. For the sake of today's devotion, though, I would like to look at one of my favorite hymns, O God, Our Help in Ages Past. The text writer, Isaac Watts, is the author of over 750 hymns. He also wrote about 60 books, many on various topics such as astronomy, geography, and logic even. But in 1712, Watts fell ill, and he spent the last 36 years of his life essentially quarantined in a bedroom in a manor house of one of his friends. It's during this time that he wrote most of these hymns. Some other hymns by Watts that you might recognize would be Joy to the World, When I Survey the Wondrous Cross, Jesus Shall Reign, among others. This particular hymn, O God, Our Help in Ages Past, was first published in 1719. The text reads, O God, our help in ages past, our hope for years to come, our shelter from the stormy blast, and our eternal home, is the first verse. As you know, every hymn has two parts to it. There's a text and there's a tune. The tune for this is usually Saint Anne, which Saint Anne is the name of a church in Soho in London, where an organist by the name of William Croft served. He wrote this, and it first appeared in 1708. He wrote it to a different text titled As Pants the Heart for Cooling Streams. But this tune has been called the most celebrated of all English tunes by the great hymn scholar Eric Routley. The four-note motif throughout I can't count, that's an 8-note motif, has been used by Bach in his wonderful Saint Anne fugue, even though it wasn't actually written on this. It was also used by Handel, and it was used 100 years before by a different hymn writer in a different hymn. But this sort of popular tune is pretty catchy, and didn't end up with this text until 1814. So roughly 100 years after both were written was the first time that they were put together. So I'm going to play this now, and feel free to pull this up in your hymnal. It's number 632 if you have a red book. If you don't, feel free to pull it up on Hymnary or Hymn Time. But I'll play it, and then I'll play a little bit of my own improvisation around the theme.